Welcome to day 15, Wednesday of the second week of Lent. Today I'm going to talk a little bit more about the hours of prayer. And we talked about that many scholars and theologians believe that the divine, what we know as the divine hours now of daily prayer, whether you're a lay person or a part of a monastery or a holy order, or you just keep a practice that you've vowed to keep personally. But these originated with the monastic and hermetic desert fathers. And in the Celtic monasteries, the Celts had always had a very deep and abiding connection with nature, with the seasons, with the sea and the rhythms of life, and with astronomy and with the skies. And so they looked at time as a sacred part of the universe, and all of the monasteries, the monastic centers, had bell towers, and every day the bell towers rang for the prayers of the day, and the community would stop, and the monks and the nuns, if there were nuns, and the lay people would go into whatever was designated as the chapel and say the prayers of that time. And usually the only ones that were allowed not to go, or were given dispensation not to go to the particular prayer, were the cooks and the porters who were helping visitors that came to the community that needed to stay, or those that were ill. The Celts looked at this unfolding of divine hours as a way of marking the life of Christ, and they considered it the Alpha and Omega of Christ's journey. So when we mark the hours of the day in whatever framework we're able to do it, what we're doing is we are marking Christ's journey from his birth to his death and his resurrection. And we're allowing ourselves to grow more closely to his message and his way. Now, the reading today is from Genesis chapter 1, verses 14 and 15, and from Acts chapter 3, verses 1 and 2. From Genesis, and God said, "Let there be lights in the dome of the sky to separate the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years, and let them be lights in the dome of the sky to give light upon the earth." And it was so. Genesis chapter 1, verses 14 through 15. One day Peter and John were going up to the temple at the hour of prayer, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and a man lame from birth was carried in. People would lay him daily at the gate of the temple, called the Beautiful Gate, so that he could ask for alms from those entering the temple. Acts chapter 3, verses 1 through 2. Our prayer for today: Holy One, instigator of time itself, help me to place a rhythm into each day, which includes times of prayer. May I make better use of my time, doing less and being more, and drawing closer to you. Amen. Thank you for being with me today. May the joy of God go with you. May the love of Christ go with you. May the grace of the Spirit go with you. Bishop Sophia Angela. Amen.